I'm on a boat heading back to the mainland. Situation changed pretty rapidly over the last week. Um, the state premier of Tasmania basically came out and said that, yeah, if you're not uh, working within the essential service and like living on a private residence, then basically you need to leave the state. I was doing both at the time, working, but within that week, even though leading up to that whole time, I was questioning the people that I was staying with and questioning the people I was working with, how their process. Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it's all nothing. It's all nothing. It's all pandemic. It's getting blown out of proportion. Don't worry about it. And then that came out, and literally, like within a day, they were all like, "Oh, geez, it's serious now. Yeah. Well, what's your plan? Do you think you're gonna go back to the mainland, or oh, I don't know if there's gonna be any work actually coming, next week. Really, I just don't know. So, which is fine. I get it. They that's I recognize their denial leading up to that situation. So, yeah, I quickly changed my bookings and started setting in new plans to go back to the mainland and go to my sister's place where I can um, practice social distancing, physical distancing, and stay there for about 2 weeks before heading further to my mother's to just make sure I don't catch anything traveling from Tasmania back to the mainland. Rough seas, 3 meters, they reckon. Yeah, because obviously this is the most social thing I have done in a long time. Lucky I have enough money to book a cabin. Otherwise, this would have been really that I wouldn't have done it otherwise. It's just I mean, if I had to, sure, I could have done it, but it's a 10-hour journey on a boat, and if I wasn't isolated, like I came over, in the open, and I know what it's like up there being in the open. So I just, I'm happy that I have a room. And so whilst I'm in a tiny room, may as well make the most of it. There's something that I've noticed by talking to friends and family and seeing sort of what's going on in the world, listening to interviews and everything from all over the world. And in talking to people, I end up being the more optimistic view. Now, I'm not being optimistic. I'm being the same realist that I always am. But I'm absolutely, really, enjoy is too strong a word, but I can really see the benefits of this pandemic. I struggle with the day to day. I struggle with normal life. When I look forward and I see how much society needs to change and people on an individual level need to change, and how people on an individual level need to have more awareness and to be more conscious in how they conduct themselves. And I just couldn't see how that was ever going to happen. Now with this situation, it's showing all the cracks of society. It's showing people how we are so vulnerable, and our society and structure is so vulnerable. And maybe this can teach us some humility And on top of that, you have the chance of where people can turn around and say, well, we can actually pay people's healthcare, and we can actually, the 8 largest economies of the world can get together on an online meeting and within 2 hours decide that they'll all just pump $8 trillion into the global economy to see us through this. You know, and they say, oh, well, this is just English. Yeah, but who do we owe debt to as a planet? Like what? Saturn with its fancy rings being all like bling bling? Money, money, money. Like, money is a human construct. Like, I'm not saying that, you know, I went through the psychotic process of money is just an illusion, man. It's just a made up, man made thing, man. And I sent myself completely into debt, maxing out everything, just buying stuff that somehow made sense. Don't get sidetracked. So I found that really interesting because I'm never the optimist. But I gotta say, now that everyone else can't see where this is going and everything is doubting, I can't help but feel like the playing field has been leveled on so many levels, on so much scale. Like I don't feel disadvantaged when having a conversation because the general rules of the discussion, everything is in question now. And so people have the same delay when they're trying to project what's coming into the future or talking about present and current and future events. It's the same uncertainty. I don't know if that makes any sense. And I handle my anxiety and my depression and my doubts all the time, every day anyway. So the fact that everyone else has to do the same thing now, it's just nice. It's just a nice feeling. Don't get me wrong, I don't enjoy the fact that it's taken this for that to happen and so many people have to suffer for that to happen. That's really not cool. The last thing I want is more suffering. Death I don't mind, but the suffering I do mind. It's the conundrum. And now I have to go and live with my sister's family, which should be really fine. Fine. Victoria has a ridiculously ridiculous self-isolating laws. They're not that stringent. Like even traveling from state to state, I don't have to quarantine myself. I just have to adhere to the normal distancing regulations. So that's cool. And it's really going to be interesting coming going forwards into this, seeing what does come out of it. On to the next uncertainty. Got no work. Yeah, that'll be the next thing. But I think 2/3 of the world's population doesn't have work right now. So forget, the playing field has been leveled. That's it. I got nothing more.